Office politics tips that actually work in 2025. I want to confess something right away. I used to feel invisible in meetings. I felt overshadowed by people who smiled more, spoke louder, seemed more confident. I thought I lacked power. I thought I lacked influence. But the truth was, I just didn't understand the subtle game. Let's change that today. I'm not here to preach. I'm not here to give you neat bullet points. I'm here to help you see the undercurrents, the invisible systems, and maybe, just maybe, help you wake up. Office politics in 2025 feels different. Remote work, AI, constant change. They've twisted the old rules. Power plays look more subtle now. They hide in Slack threads. They hide in silent MS Teams reactions. They hide in how someone frames an email. You may feel safe. You may feel distant. But the politics still exist. Maybe more than ever. Here's the thing. The typical advice, be visible, network more, work hard. It feels hollow. It feels generic. You could do it, and still feel unseen. Because that advice doesn't touch roots. I want to offer something different. Something that sparks awareness in you. Something that points to how your emotions, your patterns, feed those games. This is not how to win. This is how to notice the game. How to shift your inner stance. So let's walk in. Tip 1. See the invisible signal. You're in a meeting. Someone says, "Great idea," with a half smile. You nod. You feel polite. Later you realize they didn't even mention it to anyone else. Your idea vanished. That half smile was weak. It wasn't support. It was social polish. To step out of autopilot, you must learn to feel what's safe and what's surface. Notice tone. Notice delay. Notice what gets shared, what gets buried. You train yourself to sense the currents, not just the words. Tip 2. Slow your automatic responses. You read criticism in a chat and you sigh. You tense up. You want to defend. You want to strike back. Stop. Pause, one breath. Ask, am I reacting to feeling small or feeling attacked? Your inner defensive autopilot may not serve you. When you slow, you step into observation. You make choices, not from emotion but from awareness. Tip 3. Rewrite your voice, not with polished jargon, with internal truth. Your email says, "Just sharing some thoughts." Nobody sees it. Reframe. I noticed something that might help. Subtle shift. Not loud, but not shrinking your presence. It sounds softer, yet it touches your confidence. Your words carry weight, because you've anchored them in the fact that you matter. Tip 4. Notice hidden alliances. You are new. You see two coworkers laugh at a joke. You smiled too. Polite. Later you sense there's a bonding there. Laughing wasn't random. It was a signal. To belong. To show you're aligned. You can join, or remain outsider. But first you must sense. See who laughs with whom. Who is included. Who is only seen when useful. You don't need to join the gossip. Just watch it. See the groupings. See the unseen. Tip 5. Release the myth of meritocracy. You gave hours beyond contract. You solved a big issue. Yet nobody noticed. It's tempting to believe if you just worked harder, they'd see you. But that's a trap. Work reveals skills, not always influence. Politics exploit gaps. Work gives you evidence. Perception gives you power. Notice. The missing credit is not your worth. It's the system's bias. And awareness is your first step to shifting it. Tip 6. Question your emotional debt. Someone offers a small help. You feel obliged. You return the favor instantly. Even if it drains you. Why? Because we learn that we must repay, fast. That's social pressure. In office worlds, it's subtle coercion. You build invisible bonds you didn't choose. Notice your must repay reflex. You can delay. You can choose to say, "I'll get back to you." You can preserve your autonomy. Tip 7. Use language of mirroring. Someone pushes an agenda. They say, "This needs to go live by Friday." Your immediate instinct, defense. Ignore it. Reflect back. Friday feels tight. I sense urgency from leadership. You're not agreeing. You're mapping their emotion. That lowers resistance. They feel seen. You gain a moment. You gain context. You step into collaboration, not conflict. Tip 8. Challenge labels silently. You're quiet. You're difficult. You hear it. It hurts. You shrink. But you don't need to react. You can observe. Ask, what story did I feed that label? Maybe you stayed silent because you equated power with loudness. Maybe you withdrew when you felt unsafe. That label isn't your truth. It's a reaction. You can rewrite your self-narrative. Quiet can mean thoughtful, intentional, Strategic. Tip 9. Step into discomfort. Someone calls you out at a stand-up. You feel spotlighted, flushed, you freeze. In that discomfort, you can step to insight. Ask yourself, what am I avoiding? Maybe you fear conflict. Maybe you fear being wrong. But clarity often lives in that discomfort. Let it stay with you. Breathe, see what surfaces. Then choose your response. Not from fear, from curiosity. Tip 10. Track your energy debt. By Friday evening, you feel hollow. That's not exhaustion. It's energy drained by unspoken dynamics. Borrowed emotional labor. Trying to fit, trying to anticipate. You can't power through. You must recharge. Meet yourself. Name the fatigue. It isn't weakness. It's a signal. Something in the system is misaligned. You deserve to restore. Now, I've given you 10 gateways. Not neat fixes, but ways to see deeper. To question your inner patterns. To wake up. We've covered 2/3. And you might be feeling unsettled. That's good, because awareness can feel messy. That's the point. The next stage is about what happens next. How to carry this clarity forward. When you're ready, type, teep, and we'll move into the heart of the shift. I'll meet you there. You're still here. That tells me something. You're not looking for surface wins. You're looking for a shift that sticks. So let's go deeper. Tip 11. Understand the cost of silence. You've watched meetings where no one spoke up, even when the plan was flawed. Why? Because silence feels safe. But silence is not neutral. It's permission. Every time you withhold your voice, you let the default win. Maybe that's okay. Maybe it's not. Only you can decide. But decide with awareness, not fear. Tip 12. See who controls the frame. In every workplace, someone decides what matters. What counts as urgent? What is professional? What is too emotional? That's framing. Who decides the lens, controls the story. You might think the frame is fair. But, is it? Does it serve growth or comfort? Start noticing who changes the topic. Who interrupts? Who others defer to? Power hides in those moves. Tip 13. Don't confuse warmth with safety. They smile. They laugh at your jokes. They ask about your weekend. Feels good. Feels safe. But, next thing you know, your name's missing from the project credit. Your proposal got sidelined, and you're confused, because it felt warm. Reminder, warmth is a behavior. Trust is built. Don't fall asleep just because someone's nice. Stay awake. Warm doesn't always mean loyal. Tip 14. Know when to go invisible. Power isn't always about being seen. Sometimes, the move is to disappear. Let a drama unfold without you in it. Let two forces clash, while you gather data. This isn't passivity. This is strategic retreat. You choose not to enter. You choose not to fuel. In a system full of noise, stillness can be power. Tip 15. Don't explain too much. You send a simple suggestion. Then, you panic. You add 3 paragraphs explaining why. You over-justify. You apologize. Why? Because some part of you still seeks approval. Still fears rejection. Catch that part. Hold it gently. Then strip back your words. Say what you mean. Then stop. Power doesn't explain itself. Tip 16. Learn from the outcasts. There's always one person everyone avoids. The difficult one. Or the weird one. But look closer. They often see what others don't. They're not bound by groupthink. Maybe they speak clumsily. Maybe they broke a silent rule. Still, there's something there. Talk to them, even quietly. You'll hear truths the mainstream hides. Tip 17. Let go of the fairness script. It should be fair. You did more. You deserve better. I know. But fairness is not built into the system. It's not a law. It's a hope. The moment you release that story, you get free. You stop waiting to be rewarded. You start acting from clarity. From choice, not resentment. Tip 18. Notice who watches you, not who talks to you. Who watches? When you speak in meetings. When you make decisions. They may not react, but they log you. They file impressions. Power builds silently. So does trust. Don't play to the crowd. Play to your integrity. Because someone's always watching, even if they don't show it. Tip 19. Test your no. Say no to something small. A task. A meeting. A last-minute favor. Just once. See what happens. Your fear will tell you you'll be punished. But you might not. In fact, you might get more respect. Because boundaries create shape. Without them, you blur. Invisible. Burnt out. Try your no. It's one of the most political tools you own. Tip 20. Play a long game. Someone got promoted fast. Someone's in the inner circle. You feel behind, but your pace is not theirs. Maybe you're building something deeper. A reputation for truth, for clarity, for trust. That doesn't shine fast, but it lasts. So when the game shifts, you're still standing. You're still you. Now stop. Breathe. Let this land. This wasn't about tricks, or pretending, or playing fake. This was about you. Seeing your reflexes, seeing your fears, seeing the invisible contracts you sign every day, without knowing. You don't have to change overnight. You don't have to become someone else. You just need to notice. One layer deeper, one reaction slower. The shift begins there. And maybe, the politics don't control you anymore. They become readable, navigable, mortal. What if office politics wasn't a trap, but a mirror? What would you see in it?